Hi everyone, today we're going to be making solid letters, block letters, and also shaker letters. I've made this G and decorated it, and we're going to make some other letters and we'll get stuck into it. So here we have in Cricut a D and G. These are shaker box letters, but you can convert them into solids as I have done so. As you can see from this N on our Cricut, you've got the yellow shape, which is the acetate. I'm just going to quickly hide these other letters and go back to this one and just ungroup it so you can see. So we've got the yellow acetate colour, then we've got the black with the end outline for support, and then your side panels. Your larger pieces are cut in within that, so if I ungroup that again, you'll see that we have the top layer and then like your end and everything else that we need. But right now we're just going to keep them all together, make life a little bit more easier, and show you how it's done. So right now I want to do the D. I've made all the colours one colour because I'm making a solid white to match the G. So I have decided that is how I want to do it, so I can minimise my amount of cardstock and have it all on 3 sheets of card. The cardstock that we do use, or I use and prefer, is just textured cardstock. Some people don't like this textured cardstock. You can get it in packs of rainbow colours as such here from Kmart. You can get it also from Spotlight, different colours, different themes. This one is the neutral colours. You can get rainbow, autumn, spring, all different pretty colours. I really enjoy this cardstock being textured. I find it gives it a nice feel to the outer project, and it's really great to work with. My project is coming into 3 pieces of cardstock. They are 210 GSM, so as you can see here, 210 GSM. It really doesn't matter what thickness. I mean, I wouldn't go 80 GSM. You probably would have a very flimsy shape, letter or number. So you're better off sticking with something that's at least 200 plus GSM. So I'm ready to cut. We're just going to load this up now and cut our shapes, layering it at the top. Just a tip, you guys, for using your Cricut mats. Don't use the triangle into your cutting machine. Sometimes I've actually have gone through 3 Maker 3s because I've had issues with the metal strip at the back sticking up, and some other issues as well. So I now prevent putting in my mat that way. I always put it in this way. So we're going to load and continue, but we're going to choose heavy cardstock of 270 because I just want to cut nice once and firm, and just load this. Okay guys, we've now cut that out, and we're just going to take it away from our mat. I like using the green sticky mat. Some say that cardstock's better on the blue mat, but I prefer this. We've now got 3 pages cut out. Just peel this. Don't need that centre piece. Oops, stuck to my nail. There are side panels. Okay. So now that we have that all cut out, we'll go back to our project just so we can keep an idea of what we're doing and understand how we're putting this together. But we have our letter, shall I say, and our shapes. We're going to work on the actual side pieces. Your score lines on mine are very faint. I mean, if you use your score wheel, it's probably a lot better. I use my scraping tool just to give it a bit more of a firm line. And just make sure that they're even over the lap on top of each other. And give it a good score. I'm just going to go back to make and keep an eye on what brackets I'm using so I don't lose track. So we've got this panel. So now we need to fold over the edges and give them a scrape. These are the bits that are going to stick to each cardstock, front and back of the D. So I'm just going to go through now and fast forward this and fold it. Just follow your guidelines on your score. Use your screen as a template. Every letter's different. Every fold is going to be different, of course, on each letter. I like to have my screen as it is now so I can see in the way that I've cut it, so I can follow which one I'm cutting and have done so. So that's the base of that one that we've just folded. So we're now going to do the second one. Anywhere where there is a triangle point on the edge and it's not a flat, you need to fold that over as well. So just follow your score lines because of course this is what's going to be sticking down on another shape to hold them together. Just give it a firm scrape. Using the texture side up. Next piece is no fold in between, but we do have edging. Make sure you line up your edges from triangle to triangle. And the same as this one. Get the triangles over. Oops, I've gone a little bit over on that one. There we go. That's why it's good using your scraper tool to get more firm, solid fold lines, crease lines. That's another piece, and then we've got our last piece, textured side up. I'm going to go from triangle right along, just get those score lines. Nice and firm crease, and then the other side. And then we've got a straight end on both sides, so we won't be using that as a fold on that end. We're just going to work out our back cardstock to the side panels. Probably pays to just quickly go around, make sure that you've got all your edges correctly, so you don't accidentally glue the wrong one. I did do the mistake on my G of transferring my shaker box into a solid one because I didn't glue the back piece onto the back. I glued it onto the front, and then I had to do the back later because I had the letter the back backwards. I had it the wrong way around, so pays to double check. So this one will be on the inside as such, and then this one on the side. So we've got all our panel pieces together. It'll be easy to work from the inside. So we've got the solid straight line there. Don't glue down just yet, just put it into place, get it folded in there correctly with all your seams. It takes a bit of like folding the paper. This flap will then be folded inside there, so you don't see that. So it's a nice solid line on the inside. Once you've got it in position and you're happy with that, then let's glue it down. Let's move these other pieces out of the way. So once again, using tacky all-purpose art glue, I'm going to just lift the base underneath as so. Oh, I've had a glue split. I'm just going to glue down all these pieces. All around. Then hold it down firmly, making sure that I've got all the edges around nice and square. Give it a good run all around the whole letter entrance. Then we're just going to put a bit of glue on this tab here, and then like fold it over, as you can see, on the top, so it's not visible on the inside, because this is the bit that you will see. So the inner bit you won't, so we'll just do that. Okay, I'm just going to wipe the tip of my glue. Alrighty, so then we're going to do the same with the side panel. Let's work on the side here. You can choose whichever one you want to start with, however you feel comfortable. I find that if you get the structure side of your letter formed in, it's easier to stick the other pieces in. So I've bunted it up against the letter here, making sure I'm in place. Oops, just move it over a little fraction. I was a little bit over. There we go. Make sure it's all flush on the fold and not folding my shape of my letter. That's all on there, so that's perfect. So now we're going to use this side panel. We know that's definitely going to be on the edge there to there, and then the fold bit is separate. So we might just glue this bit down first and then manipulate the other side. Like I said, it depends on what letter you're doing, how you want to do it, but I find that if you're doing it in increments, it's a lot easier. So we're just going to put that in place and make sure the crease line is not being overlapped. And it's stuck down nicely. So now we're going to fold that down. Now we've got a join and a solid piece. So we'll push that down on there, bring the inner tab inside, and should have probably started from the top. Okay, so we just need to bring that down. There we go, just over a bit more. Sorry, we'll bring that in from this side down. I could very well have it upside down, and I think I did. My apologies. There we go. That's the correct one. So I did have the wrong one. We'll just quickly glue this side down. You can put a bit of glue on the other side later and make it a bit more better with the glue. Whoops. Okay. It's a bit crazy with the glue there. Okay, so line this up. You want to get it into the fold so it's sitting on the crease just nicely. And there we go, that's better. Like I said, you have to do a lot of fiddling around with each letter depending on what letter you're doing. Make sure before you glue it in, not like I just did, make sure before you glue it in that you actually get your layers in correctly, like your folds. So we're just going to glue that tab down in there. As you can see, it's nicely joined, a nice clean seal, seam and seal. Give it a few minutes to dry up. So now we should have the correct top and bottom. So we're just going to come in here and check this. That's better. So it pays to check before you glue, people. Just run a bit of glue in there. Okay. Alright, so we want to make sure that's bunted up there nicely. And then over here to the top, so it fits in the D, top of the D. And then join that tab up so we got a nice seam. Just might put it on this side. And then just make sure we got the height correctly with the tab, and then glue that down because you don't want to be higher than the other side. There's a little bit of a gap there. I didn't pull that other tab down a bit, so we'll just fix that up by just lining that base up and that top tab. Okay, so now we've got that whole panel side done. Okay, so now we're going to work on this last piece here. So this is going to be an outer piece because there's no triangle pieces holding it. It's starting to cave in on itself because the glue, the shaping and everything. So this is where you have to be a little bit careful, making sure that it stays flush and flat. So just hold it down when you glue it. Do it a little bit at a time. I'll just do that tab there, right there. Get ready for that one. Okay, so start at the top, layer that on top, so that's nice and flush, holding it in place for a tick. Work our way down to the end, pushing our finger in and just making sure it's bunted up against that crease line. Stick our other tab down, make sure it's all flush. Oops, just hold that down a little bit more. Just hold that for a little bit longer. Okay, so there's our inner shaker box. You can see it's now starting to hold its shape in place because it's not caving in on itself now. Just go through and make sure everything else is sealed down and you're happy with that. You can see that the base is there, so we now will get another D and just overlap it over the top just to give it a bit more strength and to hide our covers. So you can go a bit crazy here with your glue. Go right around the edging and into the corners. That's where you want to make sure you get your shape into its form so it doesn't lose. And it's not bowed, is what I'm trying to say. So let's stick that down. Start with my corner. Run your finger around the edges to make sure it's all in place. And the center, because this is where you want to push the box into place. And glue it in. Just hold it there for a few minutes just to get the glue sticking down, and like I said, hold it into shape. And that will hide your seam that you've just glued around the outside. So there's our letter on the back. Now you probably may need to go around and put a little bit more glue in some places if you missed some, or I'm pretty happy with that. So that's our inner shape now for our shaker box. So we can do different things inside our shaker box. You can put pom-poms, you can put flowers, you can put decorative sparkles, whatever it may be. I'm actually going to stick a couple of different types of things in here. For example, I'm going to put a flower maybe in the bottom there, just there, and one up the top. Let's see how we go. It depends on what you want to do, just play around. I might just put two in the bottom, I think, or we'll see what we do. Okay, so like I said, you can start decorating however you want. I think I might just keep the one rose there and put in another one just up the top here. So we'll just glue that down. Put a bit of glue on the backing. I made these roses seamless, handmade roses on another video. So head to our channel and you'll see me making those. So just position it however you're happy with it. I will put this one up the top. I'm just going to fold that down a bit and have it that way. Probably even cut that off, I think. Okay. Just put a bit of generous amount of glue to make sure it stays in there. May have another flower to put in there. Just to put two at the top. And we'll put a bit more on the side so we can stick it to the other flower. Other rose there. Okay, just wait a few minutes, let that bond a bit, and then we can move on to the shaker bits. So as you can see, we've got our roses in there. I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. So now we've got bits that you can get from your $2 stores, craft shops, anywhere. I've just got some different shaker bits. You can put pom-poms in there, glitter, whatever you want. I'll just cut this open, sorry. Whatever you want to put in there. So I've got some circles, shapes, stars, all different types of shaker bits. I kind of feel like that's enough. I mean, you could probably put more in there, but I think that's plenty. But you can get packs like for a couple of dollars with all different, this one was $2.50, and you can get two different types of, like 3 different types of sequins and things like that. But I think that's plenty in the shaker box. I could add a bit of glitter in there, I might just do so. So I've got some silver glitter here. Won't go too crazy because you know how glitter can be. But we'll just give it a bit of a sprinkle around. And give it a bit of a shake. Okay. Now I made the mistake of not cutting out my acetate sheet. But this is going to be hidden behind a border. So I'm really not fussed if I didn't cut it accurately with the Cricut machine. I could quickly just run it through, which I might do because I've got the center D. One of the steps we didn't do was stick down. So the next step before putting all our shaker bits in was we didn't put in our bracket to stick down our edges with, so you don't see the tabs. So I'm just going to quickly do that now, make sure I've got that even. Just give it a bit of glue around the edge. This is to help stick the acetate down and to hide those tabs, those fold tabs. So we'll just quickly put that in there, line it up in the center, make sure we're all around, lift the tabs up and stick it down. Get our tabs underneath, sticking down. We need something to stick the acetate to, so it's important to do this step. Same with the outside. We'll just give a bit of glue around the edge just of our letter shape. This is so we can stick it down nice and firm. Okay. Alrighty, so we'll just start with the long strip. Make sure the edges are flush so it's not overlapping. Hold underneath the tabs so that they stick up nicely, and hold firmly. Go around the edges and keep the shape of the letter by holding it down by pressing the tabs underneath so you don't go out of the overlapping it. There we are. So now we've got a base to stick our acetate on. We've got our shaker bits in there. Just make sure that it sticks down and let it set for a few minutes. Okay. So we're going to cut out our acetate now on the Cricut. Okay, so now you've got your acetate shape cut out. You can now line it up nicely. Make sure it all fits in place and glue down the frame. Remember, you want a nice seam as the glue go around the edging. And as well as the center of your letter, whatever shape you've got. Once that's in place, you're happy with that, you glue down, line up your letter. Try to do as close to the edge as possible because you've got another layer to go on top. You don't want to see your tacky glue. Just give it a press down. Make sure it's sealed down nicely because you've got bits in there. If you get any glue on there, you can wipe it down with isopropyl alcohol on a cloth, fibre cloth. I'm pretty happy with that. It's nice and firm. And now we're going to glue down our outer layer, which will go on top just to give it another dimension and also to give it a bit more security. So we're just going to go around here, just a nice fine layer. And then stick that down, starting with the edge. You want to go right along the edge. Make sure you get it all nice and even. So you could do different colours, like I could have done black around here to give it a nice look, but I did want this one all white. And then our centerpiece, make sure we got textured side down so we can stick it upright properly. Just make sure that edging is done. These are the inserts for the shaker box. So just a bit of glue, and then hold that down right near the edge. Make sure we're in there nice and even. Wipe off any excess glue that you get. Just make sure you can feel that it's all on the edge. Just scrape away the excess glue there. So, okay, holding that down for a few minutes. You hold it all down. You can also probably flip it over and give it another firm press for a bit, just to give it a bit more strength and firmness. And there you have it. I have a shaker box with glitter all around it with a couple of roses. Probably went a bit crazy with the glitter, but that's okay. And there we have it, a letter D. I could also put some more stuff inside of it, or even, like, if I wanted to, I could peel it back and then put some more in there, but I'm happy with that. We can put some roses on top like we did with our solid one and work our way with that, however you want to do it. And there you have it. You have a shaker box and a solid letter. So you can just put the, instead of acetate, a solid piece over the top, and it's pretty much the same. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please click like and subscribe if you did, and I hope that was helpful, and thanks for watching. Bye.